Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Last week, you started the process of brainstorming regarding the digital media resources you found, and this week is the time to put a conclusion for your thinking and make decisions. You need to make a decision about which resources are valuable to use for your final project. How? Let's find out together. Our question today is how to critically evaluate digital media resources other than normal or traditional printed text. Let's say you found an interesting video that involved information related to your research or project or teaching or whatever was the reason. The first thing you want to do is analyzing the video. Analyzing and evaluating the resource are associated to each other. You cannot do one process without the other one. To form an opinion, which is evaluation, you must go through the process of deep thinking. And after spending time analyzing and thinking about something, you'll naturally form an opinion in your mind, right? So they are very connected to each other. Back to the example. You found an interesting video and you want to use it formally. What do you do? Think about what usually you do. If you are evaluating a website or evaluating a video or something other than text, or even when you are evaluating text. Okay, so basically, you are asking questions about that source. In the case of the video example, for example, you can ask who is the producer? Did the video seem to be well organized and planned? Was the vocabulary used appropriate for your audience level? If the video contains research results, did the creator mention reliable resources for this information? After going through the process of critical thinking and critically analyze the video, you will find yourself able to critically evaluate it. So here is the equation. You can apply critical thinking skills and analyzing the source critically, breaking the content into components, to finally being able to evaluate the resource critically. So this is the result, critical evaluation. Actually, there is no specific way to evaluate critically, but we have some options to help you doing that. So here's the first one, the 5 W's method. The 5 W's method is one way to critically evaluate a digital resource. Those 5 W's are who, what, when, where, and why. So in a case of evaluating a website, let's say, you can ask who wrote the pages and are they expert? What information is included and does this information differ from other sites? When was the site last updated? You need to keep the information current and not use an outdated one, right? Where does the information come from? And why? Why is this information useful for my purpose? You can build on that when evaluating other digital resources and not necessarily websites. So keep these 5 W's in mind and always ask yourself questions when you are evaluating a source, even when you're using printed text or text in general. The other method is critical review. The critical review is actually the whole process of applying critical thinking to finally having an opinion to evaluate the source. So basically, it's the whole process. Every time you are going through analyzing critically and thinking critically, this is a critical review. And this is what we are going to use in this week's step regarding your final project. What I ask you to do this week is writing a short critical analysis paper, let's say 2 pages, where you have the choice of how you want to write it. You can write about the resources that you find interesting and what you decide to use and what you decide not to use. You can include examples of why you make the decision to get rid of a source, for example, website, video, podcast, or any other digital media format. One of the methods that you can use for digital media critical review is building a rubric or a checklist with valued attributes. For example, you can choose elements such as producer, currency, access, resources, and appropriateness, and then apply every resource you find it interesting to this filter or rubric. So you can write about your story, finding and deciding which resources to use, or you can use the critical review rubric, or you can use both methods to accomplish the assignment of this week, which is the critical analysis paper. I added more resources in the D2L content. Check them. And also, I included an example of a critical review rubric for software. And you can build on that. Choose your own attributes or values that you want to go through it and evaluate the resources you have. One of the very useful resources in the critical review topic, and actually in using educational technology and teaching, is Kathy Schrock's website. I'll put the link in the D2L content area. Check it with the other resources in there to find the better method for you to critically review digital media. So in here, as you can see, the 5Ws website evaluation, I also included this in the resources. You can find how to evaluate website, how to evaluate blogs, online videos, digital stories. You can have lesson plans, how to use critical evaluation information in your teaching. So make sure to check these valuable resources. And now it's time to re-evaluate your resources for the final project. Create your own rubric to do the critical review for the resources you have. And then write your critical review paper. Please keep it short and to the point. This will help you to determine exactly what you want to include in your project and what information you want to use from these resources. If you have any questions, please contact me and don't forget to participate in the discussion section.